Hi guys, Mrs. Small here, back in the kitchen, ready to create some do-it-yourself poppers. Happy Memorial Day. Hope you guys are having an awesome weekend. So simple, silly project to do. It is messy, there's no doubt about it. It is definitely a messy project. But it's more messy in the fact that you're going to need a broom, a vacuum, and some little hands to help you clean up when the kids are done playing with their poppers. So totally simple, guys. These little plastic food poppers that I purchased from Amazon, they came in a pack of 24. These are cool. You can do all different kinds of things with them. If you're a baker, you could bake little cakes inside of them. You could fill them with candy. They're easy, simple, okay? Comes with this little cylinder shape, the little push popper thing. Goes right inside. And then there's the top, okay? So you're gonna start with one of these. Make sure you get clear so you can see all of your cool, creative ingredients right inside the popper. I grabbed a bunch of Sharpie markers to decorate the outside. So that would be the first invitation to create right here at your kitchen table with your kiddos, is maybe you just simply set out the poppers, set out some markers, and have them start to create. And encourage them to work on different types of lines. Maybe you're doing a squiggly, it's hard to see because it's clear. Maybe you're working on squiggly, wiggly lines. Maybe you're doing zigzag like shark teeth. Maybe you're working on patterns, okay? Lots of ways to play with the Sharpie markers and create some aesthetic color right on the outside of the push pop. Once the kiddos are done with their Sharpies, that's when it's fun to bring out all of the toppings. It's like your confetti popper bar. So I have mine sitting right here on my kitchen island. And just like I do in studio, anytime I'm creating at home with my kids, I try to use clear containers so my kids can see everything. It's appealing, gives them the invitation to use their imaginations. So I have these little tiny styrofoam like wedges, like little football shape. I have a bunch of these elastic bands that you use for creating bracelets. If anybody knows what those bracelets are called, they were all the fad a few summers ago. So I had a couple of those lying around my house. I dug into our wrapping bin and found some ribbon and just cut it into little confetti pieces. The messiest thing, actual confetti. I got my confetti from Michaels, but you can certainly purchase right on Amazon. Even the Dollar Tree has it, craft store, party supply store. Pom-poms, that's a super great thing. A little easier to clean up than the confetti. Love these melting beads. I actually love stringing them on pipe cleaners and through little ribbons, but these will create a really good pop. Sequins. These leftover foam hearts, they're just little sponges. These were leftover from Valentine's Day. And I was like, why not? Why don't we play with these today? And then my favorite are these tiny little animals. Like, look how sweet this little zebra is. A little turtle, a little sea turtle. So these are kind of fun. You can throw these in there. Maybe you're working with really little kids and you're talking about different types of animals. I love the dinosaurs, if you have a dinosaur lover in your house. And you can find these on Amazon or at Michael's. Okay, so Once your bar is set up, then it's time to dig right in. Now, if your kids can stand up around a kitchen table or an island in the kitchen or wherever you're working, that is great. I prefer to stand when I'm creating, and I actually think it's much easier to teach children who are standing than sitting because their bodies are grounded and they're able to move around. I feel like a chair when doing art is really restricting. So get those kids off the chairs, off the stools. If they're really little, of course, and you want them in a high chair or up on a booster seat, of course, do what's best for your kids. But I prefer feet on the ground, planted nice and strong, and it gives you all the capability to walk around the table and get ready to create. So your top comes off, and then you're gonna start with your layers. This is the fun part. There is no right or wrong to do this. So it's literally just guiding your kids through. Maybe if you're working with more preschool or toddler age kids, maybe you work on counting and you work on color identification as you're filling up your popper. Also great for kindergarteners. Maybe you have a theme to your poppers. Maybe they're all one color. Maybe you're playing with a summer theme like the ocean or the beach, and you have items in your popper that reflect that. So right now I'm just creating layers in the popper. It's simple. This is like not a hard thing to do. And it could last 5 minutes in your house, could last 10 minutes in your house. Maybe it's like a no-win and nobody's into it. That happens too. All right? The idea is throughout the summer months or any time during the year to have these moments for your kids to explore and create right there in their own home. Okay, so I've got some of my bigger objects in there. I'm gonna start to layer in some of the littler things like the rubber bands. I'm gonna try to tuck those along the side. Older kids will like this because it gives them a chance to play with different textures, which sometimes as grown-ups we forget to do with our older elementary school kids. I love that there's a ladder out. Like, what's happening outside? Somebody's moving a ladder. I hope it's my husband and not a child. Okay, so I've got some rubber bands in there. Going back to the older kids. Older kids like sensory play. We think that they don't. We think it's something for preschool age kids. We think it's a kindergarten thing. We jump right into first grade, ready to read and write. Why? Why are we doing that? Let's play. Let's touch materials. All right. Messy. Here come some beads, those little plastic melting beads. Once again, you guys could break these into colors. So as I'm working, the hardest part about doing this is making sure that this bottom piece isn't pushing your items up. You want to try to keep that down and keep the cup part up. So it does take a little bit of coordination, but once again, that's a good thing. That's what we're learning as people, okay? Manipulating this device, getting it to work. Another great tool for older kids. Can't tell you how many children we see at the studio and in our Kid Casa To Go programs, elementary school kids who are still struggling with holding crayons, markers, pencils, using scissors. You gotta work those fingers. It's just like anything else. Okay, I'm ready to get messy. I'm gonna use some of the sequins. Start to sprinkle those in. And they're kind of sliding in between those pom-poms, which is nice. Try to give you a closer look. Don't be afraid of creating right in your house with your kids. I think us as parents, we get so overwhelmed by the doing of something, and we get ahead of ourselves with the cleanup that we forget that it's just play. All right, lots of glitter on top. And trust me, I'm neurotic. I'm type A, especially in my house and at the studios. And I have to remind myself to make a mess sometimes, as long as your kids are safe. Okay, so I think I'm pretty well stacked in my popper. I'm gonna put the top on. Other things you can do with it once it's at this point is you could take ribbon, you could tie ribbon around it. Like, how cute are these? You could even pre-do these, pre-make these for a party if you want and have them out on a tray. That would be pretty sweet. All right, but of course the fun is popping it. Now, if you're really strong and adventurous, you could pop it with the top secure. I like to give the pop top, a little bit of wiggle room. So I don't secure it totally because I want to get one really good pop in there. So it's on, but it's like slightly on. It's not clicked on. Okay. All right. I hope this works. It will work. Okay, I'm gonna do it right to the camera. 1, 2, 3. That's how you make a popper, my friends. Have a great Memorial Day, and let's kick summer off.